For fun tips and cool information, tune in to healingtalks.com. And this is Healing Talks. And Chris, tell us a little about yourself and what you're doing here.
Cool. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. My name's Chris Kendall. I'm otherwise known as the Banana Commander from therawadvantage.com. That's my website. I've been doing raw food for about 8 years and on a health journey for about 12, and just nutrition became a passion of mine because I was an athlete and I wanted to perform better and healer.
What kind of an athlete were you?
Well, I'm a skateboarder, and I suppose it's not past tense. I'm still skateboarding. I'm still fairly competitive with myself, trying to get better and better and put out more footage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, through that I got into chefing raw food, because before that I was into chefing cooked food. It's kind of interesting because that's actually how I got into nutrition. I was so interested to be a chef, but there's no good vegetarian chef schools within my locale.
Okay.
So instead I went into nutrition, which led me to raw food and Doug Graham.
I see.
And wrote a recipe book, and it just kind of got around, and people got excited about it, and I got invited to come out here and chef last year, and I handled the kitchen last year, so they invited me back again this year.
I see. Now, when you were studying nutrition, was there a book? Was there, one thing that triggered your...
For sure. There's a huge one, man. Like when I was like 17, 18, I'm 32 now. I was kind of going down a path of lots of alcohol, lots of cigarettes. I started smoking in grade 4. Lots of marijuana and stuff like that. I was just feeling crappier and crappier. Started feeling depressed, and I went home knowing I needed to do something.
Right.
I had found yoga, and yoga started to help. It brought some clarity. It brought some flexibility. It was helping with my joints and stuff. But I knew I needed more.
Right.
And I went to a bookstore, and this one book, Fit for Life, by Harvey and Marilyn Diamond.
Yes.
Yeah, the Diamonds. That just jumped out. I mean, that just espouses natural hygiene for the masses in a nutshell. I just really took that on, and I started eating fruit for breakfast. I started, food combining and moving towards a vegetarian diet at that time. And it made a huge difference. Next biggest influence for sure was Doug Graham. I met him at a fruit festival in Vancouver.
Right.
More specifically a vegan festival. And I was just enamored by his talks and by his essence, and I knew he had something that I was looking for. I didn't find out until afterward, but I find it pretty cool and interesting that my two biggest influences, the Diamonds as well as Doug, both mentored under T.C. Fry, and they both mentored around the same time.
I see.
And Doug went strict, straight natural hygiene, the simplisticness of it, and raw food. Whereas the Diamonds, they kind of formulated a little bit more soft, a little bit more for the masses. I would say it's like natural hygiene for the masses, right?
Whereby Doug comes along real strong for the athlete.
Exactly, totally for the athlete, and very strong for complete simplicity, raw food all the time, and shooting for the optimal.
Right, exactly.